It looks amazing with this strap. This is a perfect example of how a watch can be transformed by its strap. Because to be honest, it doesn't look like much the way that it
With the
comes
metal?
from Squally.
Yeah.
When you put it on this strap, man, it pops on the wrist. Every time you wear this watch, I notice it.
You comment every time I wear it. You're like,
Every
dude, I love
single
that
time.
strap. Trying to find it, and everybody had doubled the price on it. Some people tripled. I think this watch I saw it for $4,000, and it was comical. I laughed.
I hate when I see somebody just hang a huge price tag on something.
They're just
They're just hoping that
they're
somebody
grasping.
is going to grab it.
And that's just desperate. I'm like, well, I hope you get caught holding your bag.
But that is the definition of a flipper. You're just buying this piece to flip and try to basically somebody. Welcome to the Watch Bros. I'm Jason.
I'm Mike.
And today we're going to be looking at some watches that Mike has brought in. I'm going to let you kind of go through what you've got here and what the episode's going to be about.
Yeah, absolutely. So we wanted to do an episode of watches that sit in that under $1,500 range. We'll probably do some that are over that in the future, but for today, we have a lot of folks that are in that beginning buyer's market. And they're like, hey, what's good under $1,500? So we want to do an episode specifically that. I brought 6 out of my collection to talk through. We'll do a quick wrist check today.
Nice.
And so we'll just talk these watches, and then we've got something to sip on today. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, this is Hankook President's Reserve. It's, I think, 88.9 proof. It's bottled by Buffalo Trace, and it is a high rye mash bill. But I've never had it. I've heard wonderful things about it. I think I've owned the bottle for like a year.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of different whiskeys. So we're going to open this bad boy today, sip on it. I know it's only like 10 a.m. in the morning, but you only live once.
YOLO.
So, exactly.
Did I just say that on TV?
You just
Oh.
actually said that out
Wow.
loud. But yeah, we're going to get into that. And for a wrist check, do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
You go first. I love yours.
Yeah, man. So this is my Ming 17.09 Burgundy. And I love this watch. So it's got a guilloche dial. It's a 2-piece dial. It gives a lot of depth for it because you've got the center is like sunken in.
Yep.
It's laser etched crystal, and then it's filled with lume. So the actual indices or the track sits within the crystal. I love the design of this watch. It's a perfectly circular case. It's got these flared lugs that come off of it that are integrated into the mid case. It's brushed on the side, high polish on the top. It's just a really well designed watch. What about you?
Yeah, I love it. That piece is actually one of my favorite. And Ming has come out with a lot of great pieces recently. Still one of my favorite watches. That colorway, everything, that leather strap on that one is something I really...
Yeah, so the strap actually, it's handmade by Jean Rousseau. I'm from the South, so forgive me if I've not pronounced that correctly. But it's made in Paris.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the strap is really cool. And on the inside, I can't show it on camera unless I take it off, but the inside has the suede burgundy.
Yeah.
And it matches obviously
You can
the,
see
the
it like on
burgundy
the
dial.
solid side profile.
Right, yeah.
I almost bought the blue version, but the reason I didn't, in fact, I was looking at it the other day because Ming dropped a new watch the other day.
Yeah.
And I always go back to that one. I'm like, I still love this one.
They have beautiful
Value-wise, that one is the watch because I know naturally, organically, their watches have gotten a little more complicated, and they've grown in price. And they've got high horology watches. They've got $30,000 and $40,000 Mings. But when you're talking about the sub $5,000, that watch today would probably be in the 6K range, 5K range.
No, so I know what you're talking about. So this is the 17 series. So the 17 series is the not decorated movement that's within it.
Okay, so that's why then.
It is a Solita movement, but it has been manufactured specifically for Ming.
Gotcha.
It's been altered a little bit. And this is the 17 reference series. The 27 is the one with the open case back.
Yeah.
And then the movement's decorated.
Gotcha.
So those go for more.
That's the 5.
This is really the entry level Ming.
Yeah.
They look very similar, but I like this for the price point and what you get out of it. What about you?
I'm rocking my first big boy purchase, Rolex Yachtmaster, and I have the platinum dial. This one is special to me, not because it's a Rolex, because it was the first purchase that I made that was over 5K.
Yeah.
I was sick for like 2 weeks just
remember.
because I bought it.
I think you got a migraine right after you bought this watch.
I legit had a migraine.
Yeah.
I spent $6,800 on this watch, and it was in like new condition.
Yeah, it was.
Stellar. There wasn't a scratch on the watch.
Yeah.
It was a big purchase for me. I got a promotion in my career to something I had been working for like 5 years, and I was super excited. So I was like, hey, this is how I reward myself.
That piece means a lot. Big promotion. So an important part of your life.
Yep.
Big purchase corresponding with that promotion. And then your first Rolex, which always means something.
Yeah.
Right? And I like that reference specifically. It's smaller. That's a 40 mil if I remember right. And I like that dial. I know the blue dial is really beautiful. It's a kind of the darker steely blue,
I have
right
it here today. Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that dial, but I really like that look. And it's funny how things ebb and flow, right? In what is popular.
Yeah.
That watch kind of fell out, didn't it, a little bit because of the
not
dial.
a little bit. It fell out a lot.
The blue really became the more sought after version.
Yeah, the gray, the dark gray.
Right. But something tells me that watch is going to become more popular. Well, let's open this bad boy up, and then after that, we'll get into what watches you brought for us today. I've had a sneak peek. You've got a really good, I don't know where to put this. You've got a really good selection that you've brought. There you go, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, this is nice and smooth. I get some caramel. I definitely get a little bit of spice on the back end. There's no age for this, but most people believe that it's been aged about 8 years, which is a great sweet spot.
Yeah, it's a good. I mean,
That's nice.
I normally am not like a straight whiskey drinker, but that's great.
I get a little butterscotch. It's nice. Everybody, this is Felix. If you haven't seen him in any other videos,
I was in the last episode.
last episode, yeah, just like Dr. Dre.
Like Dr. Dre, yeah. That's what they call me around here. So,
Yeah, it's early for Felix, by the way.
yeah, this is crazy. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, look at this. 1,390 followers. I mean, that
In
is
what,
absolutely
2 weeks?
insane. Been about 10 days. 10 days ago, we had 33 followers.
Yeah, that's
This
awesome.
is very exciting for us. Listen, 1,000 or 1,300 followers isn't a lot in the YouTube space, but it's exciting for us. It just
It's a step, right?
it's a
Step
step.
in the right direction.
It tells us that what we're doing is working and resonating with you guys, and we're super appreciative.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you go ahead and show us some watches? Let's get into what you brought with us today. You've got a really nice curated list here. And I think that for anybody searching for watches under $1,500, this is a great place to start.
So let's start with one of the ones that I feel like maybe aren't as big as a household name.
Okay.
It's not a Seiko. Let's go with the Brew.
Yeah.
So this is a Brew retrograph, automatic movement. I actually got this watch, so was big into Instagram, Watch World, and I saw Vinyl and Dials.
yeah.
So she had her Brew one.
Okay.
and
That's
I-
how you found this?
Yeah,
This watch house?
I heard about them a little bit, but like I thought hers was pretty rad.
Yeah.
The one she was rocking, and I started looking into the company, and I thought they made like really unique looking watches. And I saw this one, and the dial spoke to me because I love salmon. And the design, the bracelet design, The case design did give a retro vibe, like today's Air watches. So this watch was really cool. I thought it was neat. Has a little small window exhibition in the back.
Yeah. What I like about this watch is the case shape. I love square watches or square design watches. The design on the dial too is really cool, and the light really plays off of the. I don't know what design this is called, but if it plays off of the lines the way that it has been placed. But I think this is either like the retrograph or the retrospec or retrospective or something like that. But it's a very cool piece, man. I don't know if they're still available. Are these still available? Were they?
I don't know. I actually like.
Short runs?
I think they have a green glass version. They may not, but there's a funky colored dial that I love. It's like green, yellow, and
Yes, that's the one that's a quartz movement, I believe.
yeah.
That's what I was thinking of when I was thinking of this. So I think it makes it a little cooler that this has an automatic movement in it.
Yeah.
And at the price point, whatever it was, we know it's under 1,500. What was it, maybe 1,000 or something?
I think it was less than that. I'm wanting to say I probably spent $500 or $600 on that or something.
Yeah.
I could be grossly wrong. But
What a cool statement piece.
yeah.
This is, people are going to see this on your wrist.
Yeah.
And I think that for that money, it's a great piece to have in a collection.
And we'll throw the price up, what retail is.
We'll
If
try
it's
to
still-
find it.
Yeah, if it's still up and not a limited. I don't think it was a limited run. So, so we'll jump into the next. I want to go with a. It's got a lot of heritage with this company, a lot of history behind it. I cannot quote the history, just know that it's second generation owned company. It's a
What's Jeep Dad's name?
Bryce.
Bryce.
Yeah.
Bryce, if you're watching.
He had posted one, I believe it was him. If not, you just got a lot of credit. But anyways, I like this watch, and I'm a green fan.
Yeah.
And this watch is just very classic.
It's almost a British green, right?
Yeah, it's like British racing green almost. Not as deep. I love the step up case on it. This is not an automatic movement. However, for the money, this is a great value watch, and the straps that they put on this British tan is like literally my favorite color leather. And so I saw this and I'm like, for the price, it's just a fun watch, just their heritage watch. Just
They
a
call
fun
it their
watch.
professional. This is their professional 0196D reference number, and it's called a racing green.
Yeah, exactly. I'll rely on you always for specs on that. But yeah, it's just a fun
I
piece.
cheat.
Yeah. A fun piece that, I enjoy wearing it just casual.
What a great case design. I love, it's a classically designed case. It's got a step up bezel. It has the aggressively tapered lugs. So even though it is classic in design, it still has a little bit of edge to it. And the Arabic numerals that are hand applied really pop off of that green. They're white Arabic numerals. And then the sunken subdial at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Looks really cool, man. I would love to wear a piece like this. And whether it's a quartz movement or not, to me, doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter. It's
Not at this price point.
No, it's irrelevant at that price point. That's just a fun, classy designed watch. You get a lot out of this watch, and I believe I'm going to say I spent less than $300 on it.
Wow.
It was $2 something.
Wow.
He runs really good sales, by the way. Walden Watches, you need to go check them out. They have you can buy straps a la carte. A lot of history behind the company.
Yeah, really, really beautiful calfskin strap on that.
Yeah, and they have some higher horology watches as well that his dad had put out. I don't know the full history.
The OG Walden.
Yeah, the OG Walden, and so they make some beautiful pieces, and their older watches are really pretty. They've got precious metals and all of that, but I can appreciate a company that's got a lot of depth to it and knowledge that can also produce this. That to me is awesome because this is just it's a great piece. So
Excellent.
The next one I'd say is my fun exploration type watch. I'm gonna roll with my Zodiac.
Love this watch.
So if I have any watch that could define like my character, this would be the watch I pick up because it's so funky, 80s rad. The word rad, when I looked at this watch, came to mind because I think about like all those probably the movie Rad itself.
Yeah.
That 80s flair. This is a Zodiac Super Seawolf that is the Worn and Wound edition. And I'll tell you, I missed that this run. I had it ready to pull the trigger on, and I was not one of the lucky ones that got it. It was very, very limited run for Zodiac, actually for any company. And it spoke to me so much so that I sat on the gray for 2 months trying to find it, and everybody had doubled the price on it.
Wow.
Doubled, some people tripled. I think this watch I saw it for $4,000 and it was comical. I laughed.
I hate when I see somebody just hang a huge price tag on something.
Just
They're
in
just
hopes.
They're just hoping that
they're
somebody
grasping.
is going to grab it.
And that's just desperate. I'm like, well, I hope you get caught holding your bag.
But that is the definition of a flipper.
Yeah.
You're just buying this piece to flip and try to basically rape somebody.
Right. So this is number 91 of 100, I believe, in 82.
182.
Yeah.
So you could see the reason that it would go for more on the secondary. It's super limited.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, and I'm not downgrading Zodiac. I like Zodiac, and I own a couple pieces. I think they're owned by Fossil now. They're owned by a larger company, but it's a cool watch. They just did a bang up job on designing that. Warner Wild did an awesome job with coming in and applying their aesthetics to it. This watch is one of my favorite funky watches. I went and hiked Angel's Landing in Zion.
Nice.
And
this is the watch you wore?
This is the watch I wore and was stupidly taking watch shots at whatever asinine elevation I was at with, cliff sides this big.
Yeah.
I'm hanging my arm over.
Risking your life to take a good watch shot. Which we've talked about in previous episodes.
Both my daughters were like, Dad, seriously? And I was going to the top. Hannah was going to the top of me, and she was like, yeah, I probably wouldn't do that. And then at that moment, I was like, I've got a
16-year-old at the time.
Tell me.
Had more sense than you did.
Yeah. Super cool watch. I think about that trip when I look at this watch. But
200 millimeters of water resistance on this watch. Super Seawolf. Limited edition. What an awesome watch to have. And I love the look of it. Yeah, I get those 80 vibes. I definitely get, late 80s, early 90s vibe. This reminds me of like 1992 when I was in middle school. I'm old, so in 92, I was in middle school. But it gives me that 92 vibe to me. It's got a speckled bezel. It's really, really beautiful, and it pops and it's funky. The texture on the dial, and then you have the orange and this light blue handset that's nice and boxy. Just a great piece. And I see the date window is that this same light blue, what is this?
Teal?
Like a light teal or something. But aqua, tealy, green, blue. But just a fantastic piece, man.
And they jammed a lot of colors in that. They
sure
still
did.
look good.
And
right?
it all looks great. I see the worn and wound on the back here. That's nice. So, yeah, man, what an awesome piece to bring today. Yeah. And I bet it's a lot of fun to wear.
It is. You get a lot of people that
you put it on your wrist. I bet you got a little extra pep in your step. You feel adventurous when you put it on.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you've had like 4 or 5 tequila shots and you get Superman cape. You're like,
for sure, yeah.
Love this piece, and I love the memory that I have behind it. Again, another watch that I will not sell. Just it was the best vacation I've ever been on, and I think about that.
Awesome. That's what watches are about.
Yeah, it is. The next one, let's jump over to my Alpinist, my Seiko.
I don't have this on the strap that it came with. I that's the only thing I disagree with. But the cool thing about watches is that you can stick whatever you want on it. It's a statement piece. And so this watch, and I actually had the green dial colorway, and I sold that. And the cream one, I just couldn't let go of. This thing is dope, dude. And like, my daughter Reagan will probably like blast me. She watches these videos and gives me feedback for using the word dope. But anyways, it's a cool watch, and I love the ivory dial, how it complements the gold. And I stuck this rando salmon band, and it just works, and I can't pull it off of it. I've tried.
I don't blame you. That's a perfect pairing.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool watch. This is one today that I brought that it doesn't really have a story behind it outside of I called it one of the abandoned twins because I bought both of them together.
Yep.
And I almost in my mind mentally some weird way I'm like I don't want them to part.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a cool watch that I also got a killer deal on it. I think this dude was a dealer on eBay, so I do kind of have a story behind it. It was the Hunt. Maybe that's why I can't let it go. So these retail for I think around $850 ish, $799, $850.
Okay.
And I put one in the cart, and I messaged him and was like, "Hey, I see you're the same seller on both of these. Would you be willing to do a deal?" And he gave me both of them for $600 each,
Wow.
brand new in the box.
Wow.
Then I had to go vet him out to see if like he was
was real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, these don't go for under, so I can't let that one go. Just
Guy
'cause-
was feeling generous.
yeah. But anyways, I love that piece. It sits well on the wrist, and just got a great presence about it.
Yeah. What a really cool piece. It's got a really good Seiko movement inside. I love this cream dial. It's sunburst dial. These applied markers and Arabic numerals that are on here that really pop with the gold. They go well with that cream. It's got a rotating inner bezel. That's always a cool feature. I mean, somebody that geeks out on watches, how can you not just kind of sit and play with that throughout the day? But I love that rotating bezel. And the handset on this it's classic Seiko to me. When I see this handset, I always think of Seiko and the Alpinist. Really beautiful case, nice polished bezel, and this strap definitely fits this watch perfectly.
So yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Let's see here. The next one, I've got two left. Let's go with the Squally. And so this is a
Squally GMT, and I got heavy in love with Squally for a hot 2 years.
Yeah.
I still like the brand a lot. They make a great value piece that speaks to me. I'll tell you the favorite thing about this watch for me is that I found a strap that is better than what the OEM like this looks like it should come on it, and I don't know where the hell I got this strap from. I think I could probably find it if I just Google imaged it. But it looks like Squally, if you're watching, this strap is the best strap for this watch. And I know y'all still have it for sale, but
I don't know if they still have that one for sale.
they may not. I love the colorway though. The colorway with the like forced patina markers, and on the bezel, and the gray and like deep sea blue is just a beautiful piece. I think this was my first GMT that I owned.
Was it?
Yeah.
I love that
In
company.
fact, this was my first GMT. Now I just discovered that on this episode. That's the reason I'm never selling it now.
There
I
you
have
go.
to rationalize each one. First GMT right here.
Never letting it go.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a great piece. 1545 Tropical. That's what this is. It's a 50 Atmos Ceramica because it has a ceramic bezel. And it's I think that it looks amazing with this strap. This is a perfect example of how a watch can be transformed by its strap.
Mm-hmm.
Because to be honest, it doesn't look like much the way that it comes
the metal?
from Squally.
Yeah.
When you put it on this strap, man, it pops on the wrist. Every time you wear this watch, I notice it.
You comment every time I wear it. You're like,
Every
dude, I love
single
that
time.
strap.
I love the whole package.
Yeah.
I love the way this watch looks. I love the way that the bezel, the two colored bezel with this strap, it just looks so handsome on the wrist. Nice and rugged, a very functional piece. I believe this has 500 meters of water resistance with the 50 atmos.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And yeah, it's a GMT with a date window and just a really great watch, man. And Squally is cool because of their heritage and their history. They used to make cases for Tag. They made cases for Breitling. They made cases for Doxa. So they've got a bunch of history that was back in like the 1960s and 70s. And then in 1974, they decided that they were going to get into the watchmaking business themselves.
Yeah.
So it's got a Swiss movement. It's got an ETA Swiss movement inside of it. It's a little thicker. I think it's about 13 and some change on the thickness, which makes sense because it has the additional GMT function on it.
It wears well though. It
does wear well.
It sits down more than what you would think for the thickness of just looking at it.
I've heard people knock this because they're like, oh, it kind of looks like a Rolex. Maybe in some way, but it is different enough that I don't think that they're stealing from Rolex.
I think that whoever does their aesthetic colorways should go to Rolex.
They should.
If anything, they do a better job with being creative and not funky, still classy.
They gave it a really retro vibe by creaming the hands and the plots.
Yeah,
it just is so good looking. And for the price point of this, I don't know what it was, but I know that it must have been 1,000 or under probably originally.
Yeah, I think
1,200. I don't know, but
I think I got it sub 1,000 if I'm not mistaken. It was definitely sub 1,000.
Yeah, this is a powerful package.
Yeah,
for that movement, for that look, for that 500 meters of water resistance. What a great watch.
Absolutely.
Last but not least, this
before I bought my actual childhood Swatch, I just bought it, and we'll do an episode. In fact, I need to bring that in. I saw this jellyfish come out, this Swatch jellyfish, and it just reminded me of the feeling I had as a kid rocking my Swatch.
Yeah.
And I have a great appreciation for Swatch and the culture they've built.
Yeah.
And what all they've done. And so this was, Swatch originally had these in like 34, 36 mil, and they came out with a 40 mil version of that. And I jumped all over it. They have it in clear, I believe clear red, clear blue, clear black, clear yellow, if I'm not mistaken, like a translucent.
Right.
I call them jellyfish, but just a fun watch. I mean, every time I put this on, I look down and look at the time and I think about my childhood.
Yeah.
It's just something, and I can't wear the other one because it's a 30-plus-year-old watch. And when I went to put it on, the band started cracking.
Crack.
Yeah, and I couldn't find mine, so I have it in the OG, Swatch plastic case and everything. It's great to look at. This one's functional because I can actually wear it and still get the same feeling. But just a piece that I believe I bought this one from Hodinkee when it came out. If I'm not mistaken.
Is that where it came from?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that's where I got it from.
Okay,
I could be off.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool.
So this immediately, if I was to put this on my wrist, would make me feel like a kid again.
Yeah.
That's what I think of when I see this watch.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, how much fun can you have with a timepiece? And this is one of those that you could just have a lot of fun. It's funky. I love the transparent dial where you can see through to the movement. I love the pop of color with the blue, red, and yellow hands. And yeah, this is just one of those like beach vibes or.
You know what makes me think about? I had a clear phone in my room.
Yeah.
You remember those phones and you see the guts?
You can see the guts. I think I had one, it lit up when it rang.
Mine lit up, and I only got it from Spencer's Gifts because my mom would get pissed when I had girls calling in late at night, so I could see it light up. But yeah, that's what that reminds me of.
Oh, yeah, man. I would stay up until 2, 3 in the morning.
Just listen to each other breathe.
talking to people. Somebody would, eventually end up falling asleep on the other side.
What about this? You remember doing three-way calls?
Oh, dude.
And then you're like, hey,
hold
you
on.
talk shit about the person or
Right, or hold on real quick. Let me put you on hold while I add in. Somebody.
what do you think of Jason?
Yeah, and you would just sit there and listen.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
man.
So it's funny how a watch can spawn all those feelings, right?
And those memories.
Yeah. I still buy to this day, and we'll do another episode. We'll probably shoot it today on G-Shocks, but I still buy watches that are, $200-$300 for fun.
Of course.
I don't need them. I honestly probably, I don't know. I'm always going to do it.
You're a lucky human to be able to buy $200-$300 watches because you
It's
want
fun.
them, as fun watches.
And so what if you wear it once a year? But it's that's what this hobby's about is collecting pieces that make you feel good, bring back memories. You can think about, again, like the Yacht Master, you can think about a specific time
For sure.
of your life. And it's just a way for me to reminisce. And so I appreciate you having me talk about these watches today, and love to do the same thing with your collection, whatever bracket it is. But
I think we'll do the same. We'll kind of roll these in as we continue to make episodes.
Yeah.
Eventually, we'll do like a state of our collection. Probably we'll just go through all of our collection. That's going to be a longer video and probably toward the end of the year. But yeah, man, thank you for bringing these in. Thank you for sharing with the audience.
Yeah, absolutely.
What kind of watches you can get for under $1,500.
Yeah.
I think that we probably have a lot of our audience members that are looking for watches in that price point.
Yeah. And you can have a fun collection. You look at this collection is under 6K, well under 6K. Doesn't mean you need to go out and buy 6 watches, but this is 5 years, 6, 7 years, more than that, of watches that are 6 of the 30 or so that I have that are in that price range, and they're just my favorite. Again, goes back to memories, but you can definitely find stuff that speaks to your heart. They're fun. They create memories, spawn memories, and just enjoy them.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate it, guys. And listen, help us get this number up so that Mike can, you can quit your job, right?
Yeah.
We need Mike to be able to quit his job.
My boss may be on this channel, but
Nothing against your boss.
yeah, he's a cool guy.
But it would be great if we could get that number up and you could just do this full time.
Yeah, I love it.
All right. Until next time, we'll see you.